this evening. Today we have a very special guest. Y'all guys have been waiting for us to interview breeders, game fowl breeders from Puerto Rico. So we have a great guest here. Not only do he's a breeder here in Puerto Rico, but he also is a breeder in Colombia. He competes in Puerto Rico and he also competes in Colombia. So this is a good friend of mine, a very good breeder, and he's going to be sharing a lot of great information. We all call him Nandy, but Nandy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
And first, share with us, guys, what's the name of your farm?
My farm is a Banca La Lealtad. We are in Puerto Rico. We're in Colombia, Medellin. We're in Medellin right now.
Okay, you're in Medellin right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of start out like we do with all our interviews. We first want to get a little bit of Nandy's history, you know, how he got into game fowl, kind of what he started with, and then he'll also kind of, we'll start the story from there, you know, but basically this is not going to be a full-fledged interview. So it's going to kind of be a little snapshot. Nandy has to go back to Colombia to do a fundraiser.
Yes.
He's doing a fundraiser back in Colombia for kids with cancer. So we kind of wanted to give y'all guys just a little teaser of the knowledge that Nandy possesses, and he's going to share a lot of his opinions. And once he comes back from Colombia doing that fundraiser for the kids for cancer, we'll have a full-fledged interview. So guys, let's go ahead and get into it. Like I said, Mr. Nandy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
What I would like to do is kind of start out with a little bit of history of how you got into game fowl, you know, how long you've been a game fowl, were you a kid, second generation, first generation? So let's start off with that.
Good morning. First of all, it's funny because none of my relatives back then, they were in birds.
What?
None of them.
So you first generation?
Yes, actually, yes, my first generation, because none of my family, they're into birds or nothing like that. It just happened to me that when I was grow up, back here in Puerto Rico, I just have like 2 or 3 neighbors over there that have the birds. So I just happened to hop by over there and go over there and help them out, clean the cups. You know how we started doing. Yeah. And that's how I started over there and get into the sports.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got into sports there. So tell me this then. So who was the first person you purchased birds from, or what was the first line you had?
There's a lot of, back then there's not too many like there right now here in Puerto Rico. So back then, wherever I can get, I got it. You know, we're just kids, growing up, and we didn't have the amount of money that there's these days. So we just, whatever we grab it, and we make the best out of it.
Right.
That's how but that was back then, over 40 years ago.
Okay.
So we're on this sport for a long time. We start when there wasn't any Facebook, there wasn't any, basically no phone, only a little beeper back then.
Yeah.
So we got a long way. It's a lot of sacrifice.
A lot of sacrifice. Yes, so with saying that, by you coming to the sport being perfectly legal back then, a lot of the stuff you just acquired from however you can acquire it, was that stuff that you actually try to use and take to the pit and start breeding with, or?
I mean, it's basically, to me, it's almost the same concept, you know.
Right.
Back then, you fighting with original spurs.
Right.
Whoever's have the money, whoever can cultivate them and take it to the spur man, to the guy that does
spur maker.
Spur maker.
Yeah, because he takes the natural spur off, he polish them, he do whatever.
Exactly.
It was a craft. It was a craft to do that.
And sometimes we got what they don't want. If they break down, we make it good and then take it to my friend, polish it, fix it a little bit, and then we go to the pit. But remember, we were very young, man. We competing to people that
that was in the sport, that was professional.
Exactly.
And had the money to make, because that was one of the biggest things is having the money to get. Some guys can only afford one set for the whole season.
Sometimes you have a guy that opened that thing, the pocket, and he got a whole bunch of professional ones. I say, I'm competing against him, but doesn't matter. You like the sport, you into that, so I'm going to compete. Exactly, whatever. It's a learning process.
That's right.
That's basically, you gotta stop walking.
Yeah, you gotta crawl before you walk.
Exactly, you gotta crawl before you.
Right. So coming into that sport, obviously it was tough because you were a kid, you know, young, and you competing against guys with you know, more experience, more money, better spur makers, and all that kind of stuff. But it didn't deter you.
No.
Right. It didn't deter you.
It hasn't deterred me even to this day.
Right.
And I'm the age that I have, and I'm gonna stop. It's a learning process almost basically every day.
Right.
We go to the pit, like we've been going to the pit almost every day.
That's right. That's
And
right.
we look at the birds that say, how can this bird is like this and the other one is like that? You see birds strong,
Yep.
red-eyed,
Yep.
beautiful,
Yep.
and then they don't even have the quality that the other bird is.
Exactly, and that's a key thing, and that I think is something that's very important for individuals to understand, that everything that looks good, it's not good.
No, it's not.
And
It's
some
not.
stuff that look raggedy, feathers messed up and this and that, got the qualities that you're looking for. So I think that's probably one of the biggest challenges that we have in modern times with the technology is the phone now becomes the marketing tool.
It's a marketing tool.
Back in the day when you were coming into the sport, the pit was the marketing tool.
Exactly. That's how you determine how good you are.
Right.
You have to breed. You have to be selective. You have to purchase. You have to put some time on. You got to document everything on the book. You cannot go crazy start thinking because, oh, I think that might work. No, everything has to be tagged. Everything has to be on writing on the book. And that's how you go. And then from there, you do your selection at home. Very important that you do that at home. Because if you don't do that at home, how you can expect that you're going to be good at the pit?
That's right.
So that's, to me, is one of the things that you got to have time. You got to spend the money, especially in this day. That's a lot of good birds, especially in Puerto Rico and in Colombia too. Because back then when I started going to Colombia almost 6 years ago, there wasn't the same quality of birds that they are right now.
Right.
They learn a lot. They breeding beautiful. They have good birds. They spend their money. They spend money on everything. So now the sport is in worldwide.
Elevated.
Exactly, and it's a
Elevated.
worldwide.
Right.
You go Dominican Republic, you go to Panama, you go Ecuador, you go all those places that you go, and they have good birds.
And it's because the sport is being
Exactly,
elevated. 'Cause
exactly.
they realize that in order to compete, you just can't be like, oh, I just grabbed this from over here and don't spend no money.
Don't buy dreams.
Don't buy dreams.
Don't buy dreams. You do your own thing because if I told you not to do it, you're not gonna do it. Say, no, you do it.
Right.
And then after you do it, it doesn't work out for you. Say, okay, Nandy told me don't do it, but I did it. It didn't work out. But if I say don't do it and you do it and you did good, say, see, if I would have listened to Nandy, I wouldn't be to this where I am right now.
Right.
So don't let nobody tell you, no, you cannot do it. You cannot do your own homework, spend your own money, spend your own time. And then if you did it, good luck.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter if I can purchase a bird from this particular breeder, and if I don't have to connect to what I purchased, I'm not gonna do nothing. But if I purchase and I have to connect it, I did good.
Right. So basically what you're saying is everything that you go out there and purchase may not match Nick good with what you have.
They're not gonna mix. Most of the time, they're not gonna mix. But if you're lucky, they will mix it.
They will mix.
But if you purchase the right stuff, you got more chances.
So that's the thing that separates it. So the thing that separates it is you just can't go buy anything.
No, sir.
Because you have to do your homework, you have to do your research, and you have to look for a particular line or family or something that you think should mix well.
And Jim, you gotta go to the pit.
You got it.
Especially that we are blessed that we fight 7 days. When the season runs over, we fight 7 days in here.
Right.
So today we go to another one. Today we got chances to go to 3 or 4 different ones. We'll pick whatever the closest one to our live.
Exactly.
And you see the birds and you like it, go to the guy, approach the owner and say how much you want and you're selling it. And it doesn't not gonna give you a guarantee that when you purchase that bird, you're gonna take it home, it's gonna match yours.
That's right. So to get back to that, because that's exactly right. So part of your homework in the selection process is seeing the performance of the birds.
Exactly. And the hen is the most important thing because you see the male fighting, but you don't see the hen fight. And the hen's gonna give you a lot of percentage more than the bird and the male. So it's a combination. You gotta.
So saying that, how do you recommend picking hens? Looking at the fathers, the brothers,
My opinion to anybody who's starting on the sports and want to move forward and forward, you have to go to the breeder and listen to the breeder. Not because I like this bird, I like this one. Okay, we like tall, we like strong, we like rosone, red eye, the best quality. But you gotta listen to the
guy who created it.
Exactly. And then another thing that I always said, open the book. Show me the book. Show me what are you breeding. Show me their grandpa, their auntie. Show me the record. How far are you breeding this bird to get to this level? Some of the people don't do that. They just post it, pim, 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 pam, beautiful. You know, they put, say, the color, they create a beautiful birds, and they're not even selling you what do you want.
Yeah.
So if you have the opportunity to go to a breeder, show me the book, man. Open that book for me. I want to see how do you get to that level, man.
Yes, and you know that is so important that you say that. Two aspects of it. One is listen to the breeder. The second aspect is, and the reason why you need to listen to the breeder, because he knows the history.
Exactly.
And see, that's where the trust factor come in. You know what I mean? Because that's why it's so important to deal with people that you can trust. Because if not, it goes back to what you said earlier. Everybody's selling dreams. Yeah. So the deal is you don't want to buy a dream that's not going to fit in your story. Because
that dream is going to cost you time.
Yep.
Remember, for us that we fight birds very young, it takes you 8 months.
Yep.
9 months, 10 months just to try and see if you're successful or you fail.
In some other countries, it takes them 2 years.
Not only that, that's money.
Yep.
That's time, that's weather. The weather is very, very important.
Right.
I breed here different than I breed in Colombia because of the weather. So where I live it's cold. Over here, look at where we are right now.
Right.
We're at the beach. It's hot like that
all year
long.
Right.
So the trainer and the trainee for this particular bird are different ones.
Right.
Now we have pits that have AC.
Right.
Back then we didn't have no AC on the pits.
Exactly.
It's crowded, it's hot.
Yep.
Sometimes they fight at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which is very, very, very hot.
That's why they was like, why they trim, man,
Exactly.
you don't understand. Now it's more of a tradition because it is air conditioned. But when they came out when it was so hot in there, they had to trim them as best they could.
In Colombia, we fight birds to the following day. I'll give you an example. We could start at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. We're still fighting. 100 and something fights. And when they get happy, they even fight more.
Yeah.
They give you 1 ounce, 2 ounces. They don't care. They just let them fight. One or two, whatever the other one.
Right.
And then when you have a prize to win, you might think, oh, I did 7 seconds. I did. But you have to wait to the following day to get paid.
To make sure, because they have to make sure
that everything is done. Exactly. And then another guy comes in 5 seconds. You wait until the following day to 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning, say, money's on my pocket. And then comes another guy, boom, 2 seconds. So you waste all your time and everything. Exactly. Those birds are in the cage for overnight to fight the following day. They don't sleep good. They're not in their how do you call that?
The element.
Exactly. They're not in the element. There's a lot of things that people gotta think.
A lot of things that people have to think. And I believe also too that the way that they compete in Puerto Rico, Colombia, Panama, Dominican Republic, all these different places where you can't access your bird once you turn them in, it changes the whole game. Because in places, say back in the States when it was legal, your bird is inside your little room with you. So you're able to feed it, you're able to give water, you're able to do all this
Going to what you're saying right now, what I do, I wait. I go bring it to the pit, I weigh them. They're on the scale, pam, pam, they weigh the target. So what I do, I wait till they get matched. I'll give you a sample. If there's 120 fights and mine is 100, I'll go and feed them. I ask permission, or let me go feed my bird, let me give me some vitamins.
That's in Colombia.
Exactly, over there. Because over here we only fight till 12 o'clock at night. There's no more fights after that. So you know that
by 12
you have to be on your way home or everything should be set. Over there and over there is
to the next day.
It's the next day. So it's very different scenarios.
Very different scenarios.
Exactly.
Depending on where you're located at. And that is something that can't be overlooked. That's a big deal.
Yeah. You have to do your homework. You have to listen. You gotta go and see. You gotta do your homework at home. It's a lot of stuff that
you have to do.
You have to do. You have to do. Otherwise, you'll be wasting your time and money.
So basically, they need to understand that this is not a this is just not a one-dimensional sport. It's multi-dimensions.
Exactly.
It's many different parts.
Exactly, many different.
That you have
the rules are different. The regulations are different. Completely different. Completely different.
So, with saying that, newer generation coming into the sport, you know, the most important thing that you feel as though is they have to do their homework. Don't let nobody discourage you from trying things. Understand that you just can't buy success. Like, success is developed, is a process.
But the good thing about the generation right now, they have a guide, they have a parent, they have an uncle, so they follow in their steps. So they're very well.
And they got interviews like this,
Yes.
which you didn't have 40 years ago.
No. Now we can see you and I, we can sit and we can talk and share information that is benefit not only for you and I, for whoever's
watching.
Exactly.
Thousands of people watch
the show.
So and they watch it over and over and over.
And if they have any question, they can go back to.
They can go back.
And listen.
And that's an advantage, and which I don't feel as though it's an advantage and disadvantage. It's an advantage if you use it properly. It's a disadvantage if you use it as a distraction.
A distraction, yeah.
If you just want to consume and consume and consume, but you're never trying.
No.
If you watch an interview and a guy said, hey, if your bird is sick on this, you can try this. You know, but then you don't try it. You go to another Facebook group or another Facebook group, and you got thousands of comments of people coming from people that you don't even know if they even own birds.
Going back to what you're saying, Jim, I receive a lot of birds from here. Overseas to Colombia. They take almost 2 weeks, 3 weeks, sometimes to a month to receive them. And these birds are going to fight, are going to compete.
Right.
Example, I get them back in October or November.
Right.
They're going to compete in December. When they get to me, after almost a month traveling, they're all sick, they lose weight, they're not the same, they go to a different environmental, they release all the feathers, they go back, and people expect them to fight in December because they spend time, they spend money and everything. That's what is very hard. I get them losing 1 pound out of the 3-pounder when they ship it to me here.
30-day weight.
Exactly, and then they go all bad, all beat up, and then I have to recuperate them. At the beginning, it was hard for me. But once I learned the process, now I could recuperate in a week and a half. I recuperate. But it's a lot of stuff that is not one day.
That's right.
Even though to this day, I'm still learning. I'm almost 40 years in the sport, and I'm still learning. Every day you learn something. But you have to be open. You cannot be mind closed. Because if you mind closed thinking that you know everything, you will never go far.
You never go far.
You have to open mind. You got to listen.
Keep your open mind. No matter if you've been in it 50 years, you got to keep an open mind.
Might you doing different that I do, I might like the way you're doing it.
That's right. And it might work for you.
Of course.
Or it may not work for you.
Exactly.
And just because I'm famous doesn't mean that it's automatically going to work. And see, that's another thing that I think a lot of individuals don't understand. Just because somebody is super successful, you can't copy everything that they do because some of that stuff is not going to work for you.
Exactly.
So I see a lot of the younger guys saying, oh, well, this guy here, he won this, and this. So if he says to do it like this, that's the only way I'm going to do it. That's a big mistake.
Exactly.
I'm not saying don't try it that way. Try it that way. But it's no guarantee just because that guy is a top guy, everything he tell you is going to work for you.
I'm going to touch this subject for quick, and we're going to leave this for a following because we're going to be here for a long time. In breeding, might not work for you. In breeding, might work for me. But you got to try. You got to know the background of that bird, where it came from, and then people say, no, don't inbreed because it's going to come like this, it's going to come like that. No, because I said or you said, no, I have to try it. I try, it worked out for me, it doesn't work out for me. But that's a different conversation. We will do that on another day.
But the point to that is try, it's your birds, it's your time, it's your money, do what you want to do with
Exactly.
So that's the basis of
and there's no rush.
There's no
you
rush.
can't rush things.
You can't rush things.
If it takes 2 years, it takes me 3 years now in Colombia to be where I am.
Three
3 years right now, and I'm still
coming up the ladder.
Exactly. I came out of there without nothing. Only bags on my hands. And I build, and I purchase, and I cheap, and on shipping, they didn't make it. So there's a lot of stuff that is very hard, but it's a learning process. And when you get to the level that you think you can compete with everybody else, it's a proud, man. It's pride.
Yeah,
it's pride.
It's a beautiful
Exactly.
feeling.
That's the best feeling of the world.
Best feeling of the world.
Going over there, compete against the top guys on the top tournaments, and put their birds on the trash.
Because and defeat them.
Exactly, because defeat them. Exactly, defeat them. Yeah.
So now let's just continue with that. So as you said, the top guys. So you do believe in this sport is different levels.
Exactly. Okay, in Puerto Rico we have a lot of pits. I'm not saying that the pits are inside the country are better than the ones over there, because you can have birds that they're inside and pit inside the country here in Puerto Rico, but they don't have the money, they don't have the facility to travel to Isla Verde.
Right, that's
I
right.
will call Isla Verde the Yankee Stadium. That's where the
major leagues.
But compete over there.
Yeah.
You have to go and compete on the main events on the island and see how far you are. Because if you don't compete there, you never know that.
What's it? Because that, so pretty much that's what it's saying. So it's levels to it. So you're saying that the goal is to measure yourself
Exactly.
against some of the best.
Exactly.
Now, and you're also not saying that just because they're in the campo, in the mountains, that the birds are no good. You're not saying that at all.
You have better birds that compete in the Coliseum for the longest mile.
Exactly.
But they don't have transportation.
Transportation.
They don't want to go over there and bring them over there and let the computer match it, and then they'll be lost in the day because they don't get matched. You know,
so there's a lot of different reasons why, but it's not because the quality is less.
No, we all have good quality all over the place.
All over. Mountains, metro.
You might see a guy with a sack here, it look like an old man, and he say, man, I'm going to beat this guy. Beat it? Look how difficult it is to support. That you put two birds in a cage. Raise the cage, tell me who's going to win.
You don't know.
You don't know, so.
And you can't tell by looking.
No, you can't tell.
You can't tell by the name.
I might like this one.
Yeah.
Because he's taller, beautiful, stronger, red.
Yep.
But tell me who's gonna win.
Yep. And just to continue what you're saying is 1,000% correct. When we go to Los Robes the other day.
Yeah, we go to the pit almost every day. We've been going to the pit. And what we do, we stand. Study, and you tell me one thing, I tell you one thing. I say
we share, we exchange ideas, and that's the most, to me, the most powerful thing is you and I can sit there. We can look at the same fight and have two different perspectives.
You and I, you and I, we be betting fake
betting.
I
Right,
say,
right.
pick
fake
yours.
betting.
I say I like red. Okay, I'll take blue.
Right.
Who's gonna win?
You don't know. You don't know. And you know, to continue what you're saying about you don't know who's going to win, is Lord Roby the other day, they have you got to be careful with the little old Puerto Rican guys that's 5 feet tall that just got those guys right there, they don't have a lot of money.
No.
But a lot of times the gallos they have, man, because that's all they have is the birds.
I mean, you have names that you know that they have good birds.
Right.
That they're going to fight 10 birds, they're going to win 6, 7, or maybe 8.
Yep.
But there's not too many people like that. But how many birds they breed?
Right.
400, 500, 300.
Right.
Just to give you a number. But you know how many birds they select just to compete on the island or just to compete over there? Maybe 20, 30, 40. At the level that they want to compete over there. But they have more money, more facility. They got more access.
Top trainers, top spurs.
Not too many people can buy birds for $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000. People only have money just to buy $100 bird, $200 bird, because now the prices are double. That back then.
Yeah, back then, exactly.
But the quality is even better now than back then.
Yeah, because everything, the facilities, the food, everything is the understanding, everything is better.
I'll give you an example. I mean, when I travel over there, you sleep on your bed every day.
Right.
That's you comfortable, that's your bird, that you feel good. But you taking that habitat, bird from that habitat, and put it in a small cage, you put it in a place that he barely can move, he can barely eat or nothing. That's not, that will take a, how do you call that? A toll into the bird. How he's going to fight the following morning, how he's going to fight at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning.
So you like to keep the environment
I will always try
to
closest to original into that day to come to fight. Well rested, well feed. You make things, put sun on a daily basis. You feed very good. You give a pelota. We call it pelota the snack.
Yeah, the little snack.
Exactly in the afternoon. So it's a lot of things that people have to understand.
Yeah.
So
that's it, man. And guys, that's why I wanted to just give y'all guys a snapshot, because Nandy can go in so deep on all of these different topics, man.
We be here all day long.
Yeah, we can be here all day long.
Talking.
But I wanted to share this with y'all guys because there's a lot of guys in different parts of the country, also different parts of the world, but that has experience with the Spanish types of birds, and y'all have always said, "Hey, bring some more breeders on that talk Spanish," because you only had one. which is Pedro from down in Miami.
Okay.
He talked about the experience in Dominican Republic and stuff like that, and it had a huge impact because there's a lot of people with interest, but a lot of people haven't acquired this Spanish because they don't have the connections, they don't have the trusted people, so they don't have understanding. But I tell so many Americans, the Puerto Rican birds can bring so much value to your breeding program, but it has to be from somebody you can trust. You can't just go on, and you and I know this from going to the pits every single, almost every single day.
Every single day.
Just because you see somebody with 50,000 followers on social media and all these nice pictures and all these fancy videos, that doesn't mean they having quality. It doesn't mean you're going to buy quality. No. The biggest key when you're acquiring birds is trust to me. It's trust.
That's the number one key, because a lot of people, I shouldn't say this, but they switch tags, they do all kinds of stuff.
And it's in every sport. It's the same thing in dogs. People switch paperwork on the dogs because if this paperwork is going to make the dog 3 times more expensive than this paperwork. They do the same thing in it.
I fight San Thomas, San Croix, San Martin. I've been all over the Caribbean fighting, Dominican Republic, all over. So there's a different concept of fighting the birds.
Right.
And people got to understand this, that you have to be careful what you do, and you got to go to the pit. And for me, I like, if I would have start, I would have go to the pit and buy me at least a bird. A bird that I know I seen it fight, and I know I have 50%
chance
in my pocket.
Yeah.
Then that comes the tricky part.
Right.
How are you going to get your hands if you never see them fight?
Right.
That's the tricky part.
Right.
Good hands.
Right.
Because to me, the hands are more important and they're more expensive than the bird.
That's right.
Because you don't see them fight, you don't know. But if you have,
you got one that's proven, if you can get your hands on one, that guys say this is the son, this is the other son, this is the repeat breeding.
Exactly.
You're like, okay, I could spend money.
And don't sell it, guys. Do not sell it, because you will never get a chance at least to get another one again like that.
Yep. Hens are
very important.
But we're kind of blessed here.
Oh yeah.
Because we get to see it all the time. So when a guy say, this is the brother, we get to say, well, let me see the brother.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? In other places.
Let me see the numbers. It's got to be.
Exactly.
Some of them, they tag it in sequences.
Yeah.
But I don't tag in sequences. I tag it different.
Random.
Exactly, random.
Right.
But it's still
the book is the book.
The book is the book. Exactly. You can put it in the room, you can put it in the bathroom, the book is the book.
Right.
Bring the book, show it to me, and see how it is.
Yep. And that's when I go to farms too, I'll look and I'll see something. Then I ask for the book. And you look at the book, and then he's like, oh, that's the mom, right? And you go and they grab it, and look, the tag is matching in the book.
And especially here, they are very good breeders. In Puerto Rico, are very good breeders. All they do is breed all day long and all year long.
Every year they test.
Even though they sell it, they get a chance to see.
Yep, they get to see what they sell.
Exactly.
And I'll give you, and not to say it in a bad way, but when I came here, I was offered a different quality of bird than when they realized I lived here. See, when they thought I just came to visit here to purchase birds, they sold me a certain quality. But when they realized that I lived here, because they see me in a Guyana, like, oh, you still, it's like 3 months, 4 months, and you come back? Oh, no, I live here. Like, oh, so now it changes. Like, oh, this guy lives here,
hey,
so
Jim,
I gotta...
Jim, we were at the pit the other day at nighttime, and you know how many people approach you and talking to you and say, welcome to my place. Anytime you want to, Nandy, take him to the place.
That's right.
And I guarantee you that you go to the place, and they will give you something for free.
It happens all the time.
That you don't have to spend any money, nothing, and it will be a better quality than you go and buy.
And I can buy. And that's again, I have a lot of people from the States and Mexico and different parts of the country that that contact say, hey, listen, I really always wanted to get into the Spanish birds, but I never had somebody I can trust. I didn't know who's is doing what because I'm not seeing what's going on. So they say, can you help me out? I said, yeah, I can help you out because I got access to people like you. We go into the pits. I'm seeing what's going on. I live here. Like I said before, it's different. I get a different quality than if I just come here. Because a lot of guys, and I'll tell you this, it happened probably 5-6 years ago. I was going to get some birds from a guy, but I see the guy is asking 1,000 questions but he only asks these questions so he can try to move around me
Exactly.
and go to the place.
Exactly.
I tell him, I say, listen, I'm not selling you a story. I'm like a broker.
Yeah.
I'm like a broker.
Yeah.
I got access to breeders, to the birds, all of that.
Exactly.
You're trying to go around me. You don't understand. You're going to get the same treatment I got when I first came here.
Yeah.
They're going to sell you whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So you're trying to buy, because you don't want me to make 10% or 20% extra.
Yeah.
You know, you want me to go and take my time, take my trusted relationships, and I'm supposed to just give it to you for free? No. When you go to a car lot, I'll give you the best example. When you go to a used car lot, somebody trade their car in. They trade their car in, the lot giving them $3,000. They clean it up, the next day it's there for $7,000. You don't complain on that.
No.
But yet, I go purchase a bird for $500. They want me to give them the bird for $500. And that's what the guy was doing. He was trying to get around me.
And guarantee.
And guarantee. Yeah.
You know the only thing left? Give me your birth certificate and yeah. You want a birth certificate, you want that because that's the only thing they want, you know. So it's like that.
So that's the thing, and that's the thing you kind of deal with too, is because guys don't understand that, like you said at the beginning, it costs money.
Oof.
You know, and it's better to invest, but you have to deal with somebody that you can trust. Buying birds from somebody you don't even know what they do, if they compete, if they check in, how they select it, you don't know nothing, but you buying it because of beautiful picture, all these videos.
And they want to buy birds so cheap.
Yes.
And they want to bet $10,000, $5,000. You see them betting and betting and betting. Say, man, if you want to bet money, you have to bring at least a bird that is going to have the quality that, because the bird doesn't know how much.
That's right.
How much you bet? He ain't gonna wake up in the morning and say, Jim, I'm sick. I don't want to go to fight today.
Just the other night when we seen the ones for $5,000. That wasn't the best.
That's $100 fight. They don't know.
Exactly.
They don't know. They don't wake up in the morning and say, Jim, today I'm feeling good. I'm feeling strong.
That's right.
I'm fighting for $5,000 today.
Right.
And the following week, no, I don't feel good, Jim. I fight with 100. So they don't know.
They don't know.
It's only how far you want to go, deep in your pocket, you bet it.
Yep. Whatever your resources, because some people can never ever in their life bet $5,000.
No. They will never do.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just the fact that you have to do your homework. You got to do your homework. You have to be 200% on this.
Yep.
If you're gonna go 70%, 60% of everything, no, stay home.
Yep. Stay home.
Feed him.
Yep.
Put water and corn every day. Every day. Don't take it to the pit.
Yep.
Don't take it to the pit. So it's a very, very difficult sport, especially now. You have a lot of good birds. And now we go plastic. Now everybody's equal.
Everybody's equal.
Back then,
the
weapon
is determined a lot of the
Now, you pay for the plastic one, you put a good sperm with a good breeding of cutting. If you don't cut, guys, if you don't cut, you ain't going nowhere. This is not about boxing, throwing, no. You have to cut. Very have to cut, otherwise, don't take it to the pit. And cut good. Don't cut superficial and don't deep. And the bird has to know when he has an advantage
to
finish it. Otherwise, the other gonna recuperate, gonna come boom. We've seen it. How many times we seen it? We've seen it many times.
Many times. The other night we seen it many times.
Yeah, he raised it.
And I'm talking about he had him lost deep. And he let him come back from the deep.
And boom. That
he let him work back a little by little.
Little by little.
But it goes back to what you said. That's genetics.
Exactly.
He wasn't a finisher.
No.
He was beautiful. He was well trained. The spurs on them was correct.
Not only that, he's losing blood.
Yep.
He's losing blood. He's slipping, slipping from the feathers, and it's not hitting standing still and everything. That goes. It's a combination. You gotta have trainer. A good trainer, you gotta have a good breeding line, and it needs to be cutting. It has to cut, and also the sperm
has to be good.
Exactly, has to be good.
And you know that's another thing. I personally think guys try to save money on the wrong things. If you're in this sport, saving money, it shouldn't even be in the part of the vocabulary.
No. Go play basketball or baseball or something, but don't stay here because this costs you more money. And we don't ask for nothing. The government, nobody give us nothing. Nothing. It's self-funded. You spend your money, I spend my money. Gasoline, turnpike, parking lot, food.
Yep.
If a goal could be here, mention what before we get to the pit.
Exactly.
Before we even get to
you
the
can
pit.
spend money before you even get there.
Exactly. And then after you go to the pit, there's no guarantee you're gonna win.
Exactly.
You might go with $1,000 in your pocket. You go home broke. And drink and start drinking.
And
Because,
start drinking. But you're exactly right. You know, I think they try to save money in the wrong areas, and I think when you come to this sport, don't even put saving the money into the equation, because to compete at a certain level, there is no saving money, because you have to get the best spur, man. You got to try to get the best genetics. You got to the best health. You got to have good food. You got to have the best of everything.
If after the finish, you got to pay to take care. You got to pay to put it over there in a cave for you when you leave. It's a lot of stuff. You got to pay the sperm man if you win.
That's right.
You win.
That's right.
You take care of him because
and
the next.
And then also the trainer.
The trainer.
If you train, you got to pay the trainer
30%.
too. Yeah.
We pay 30% of the original bet.
Right.
Plus we pay every week.
Right.
Per one bird.
Right. Every week.
Every week for per one bird, because that's how they make a living, out of charging you per week and the 30%. Right. And if you don't pay him the weekly, they charge you half. If he pays with 100, you give him 50. If you win. If you draw loss, nothing. Exactly. So there's a lot of stuff that people gotta realize, and in every country is a different way to do things. But Puerto Rico is very professional in that. Dominican Republic is very professional. That's a good places that are very professional. But it's different rules, different regulations. Dominican Republic, they don't fight trim.
Yeah, they don't fight trim.
They don't fight trim.
Right.
Maybe one. There's a World La Mundial ahora. It's coming right now.
Right.
It's coming in the following week. It's coming the following week. But it's a very good sport. I love it. I'm proud of what I am, and I have to do that again, Jim. I don't have a plan to do it again. I might do it different, but of the experience that I have now. But it just
never replace
no.
Yeah.
It's good to be where we are right now, and it's good look where we are right now. Look what we're doing right now, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's a blessing.
It's a blessing. I thank God every day, man. But to be able to wake up with this, and then you here in the morning, and then you at the cockpits at night.
You get a chance to go to work, go home, take care of your family, take care of your baby, because you got to take care of your family, man. Family is first. If you take care of your family, you do things right, you have a chance to be blessed most of the time. Just be good, do your things right, learn. Don't think that you know everything. And if you think you know everything, just listen to people, man, because people have different opinions, different things. Exactly.
So, guys, we're going to leave it at that, because I really want to, get an opportunity, once we post up the video, get an opportunity for y'all guys to post some questions and stuff like that. But I kind of have, and typically with all the interviews, I always hit particular topics so we can make it a very well-rounded interview. So we're going to do the official interview, because this was like table talk.
This is a snack.
Yeah, this is a snack. This is just like table talk. So next time we have Nandy on, we're going to spend time in particular areas.
Exactly.
Go really deep in particular areas. He'll talk more deeply about his concept of selection process, his methods of breeding and inbreeding, his selection process with the hen, his selection process with the rooster, and then also too, his breeding methods. Father to daughter, mother to son, aunts, nieces to nephews, uncles to nieces, and all that kind of way. And just he's going to walk us through it. So we're going to go deeper into each particular topic, and then that'll give y'all guys some more in-depth information. But I think he covered a lot of great things. I think he covered a lot of great points of how things are different in different places, different countries, how this is a process. It's multi-dimensional. You just can't be good at one thing and think you're going to win.
It's a combination.
It's a combination of things. So, I'm really looking forward. Once he come back from Colombia doing his fundraiser, he'll be back here. Obviously, guys, we'll do like normal. I'll get the flyer up. We'll get the flyer. We'll get the date and everything. We'll set up a location.
And any Spanish question that you guys have, do not hesitate. We'll cover it. It might take a little bit more time because we are a lot. We're
but just
kind of busy.
post it in the comment section because he can come in the comment section.
And I will help you out. Even if you don't speak English with Jim, I'm always going to be here, and I will at least give you
your point of view.
My point of view, and you decide how you do it.
Yep, that's exactly right. So I think he covered a lot of great things. Don't let nobody talk you out of doing certain things. whatever you learn every day, but what you learn, you try. Don't get so obsessed with just learning, and never trying anything. Don't assume just because this guy is a famous guy, what you buy from him is going to automatically work in your yard. Because like you said, everything doesn't mix together, but you have to at least try it. Everybody has a 50-50 chance. Nobody knows once the boxes is raised or the birds are set down who's going to win. So it's many different aspects, and I think that's why I call it journey to the pit, because the journey is what it's all about, not the destination.
No, it's
because
a
you
journey.
can get to the destination and get the results you don't want.
Yeah.
But it's the journey, man, that's so important, man.
And people with a lot of money, they go straight, boom, because they have the money. Exactly,
right.
But not too many people have that.
Not too many people have.
So you
the
got to
majority of the sport is not controlled by the money.
Exactly.
The majority of the backbone of the sport is the working man.
Exactly. You got to work. You got to
get
up in the morning.
Go to a regular
Even
job.
if you fail, get up again and clean yourself and keep on going. That's how it's going to determine how far you can go in life.
Right. That's
and
exactly
compete
right.
with the good one. Don't go start looking for, I seen these old little. No. Go and compete with the good one. That's how you know how good you are.
I'm going to leave it at that. What he just said is something that many people lead with their ego and not with their purpose. And what he just said is exactly right. Guys want to so much focus on the win than focus on determining the quality of their birds. You can always find a little weakling to beat to win the money. But what are you learning? What are you benefiting? Nothing.
You're going to spend your money. You're going to win it. You're going to put it in your pocket. You're going to spend it. But you're still in the same position.
You're still in the same
position. You're going to stay in the same position. Moving around, and you don't move forward. That's it.
Right. So what Nandy is saying is always try to compete against the highest competition you can afford.
Even if you fail. Don't feel bad because we always want to fail.
That's right.
I have birds that run away. I have birds that standing still, hit in the eyes. I have a whole bunch of things. Whoever don't say that is a lie.
Is a lie.
Because we always going to have birds that do that.
That's right.
But you got to compete. If you got to compete with the best one on top of the line, that's how you determine how far you go and what do you need to go to that certain level and to move forward.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So, guys, we're going to leave it there. Nandy, I greatly appreciate you taking the time. Nandy and I will be doing some business together. We're working on some projects together, too. There's a lot of influx of guys asking me now that I'm here. They would like to try some of the Spanish blood to infuse into their program as a little experimental project. So Nandy and I be working together to try to supply y'all guys with what we see. And as he said, we hit the pits almost every day.
Every day.
This guy knows everybody on the island, from the little guys in the mountains to the top guy. So we see a lot. I know a lot of people. He know a lot of people. He doesn't know everybody I know. I don't know everybody he know. I go to the pit some days by myself. He goes to the pit some days by himself. But between the two of us,
we're doing the homework.
Yeah, exactly. We're doing a lot of homework. We're doing a lot of homework, and then we put our minds together. We put our resources together, and I believe between the both of us, we'll be able to supply individual breeding materials only.
Yeah, breeding. Yeah.
Breeding materials only. We don't have any interest. We don't sell birds for fighting or nothing like that. All we're doing is supplying birds for breeding material from proven stock.
Quality.
That is it.
Quality.
So don't waste your time contacting me about. I don't do it. It's illegal. I don't do it. I don't participate in it. Everything that we'll be supplying is for breeding materials only, to infuse in the program. Once it leaves our hand, that is it.
We put in an injection to your line.
Right.
And you're going to move forward. You ain't going backward because we do this on a daily basis. So we know what we need. We know what is around. We know how to take.
We know who got good, who got bad.
So,
and we're not determining this from social media.
No.
We're putting our eyeballs on it. Yeah. So, yeah, guys. So we'll leave it at that. Thanks for joining. I'm gonna get this. Like I said, I will get everything set up once he get back in town. We'll get the official flyer made. We'll get the date made. And in the meantime, post y'all guys' comments, English or Spanish, in the comment section. We'll get to those, and we'll make sure we try to cover, if not all, some of them, in our next interview. And every question is important. Don't feel shy. Don't feel bad. No dumb question. Exactly. There's no dumb question. The dumb question could be the most important question that you think. Yep. That you need to know, but you think you don't. There's no such a dumb question. You ask whatever you want. We'll be glad to help them out, and we're here, man. And thank you, guys. We'll see you the next time. We'll see you soon, sir. Yep. So. Nandy, greatly appreciate it,
Okay,
brother. Thank you
okay,
very much,
okay.
man. And we'll talk to y'all guys soon.